34-year-old David Washington was driving his car on Jefferson Davis Highway in Fredericksburg, Virginia, when he had a stroke. He lost control of his vehicle almost immediately, and he veered into the oncoming lane of traffic after jumping through a median. While driving down the roadway in the wrong direction, he swiped a Jeep and kept on rolling down the roadway out of control. In the midst of all this, jumping the intersection and driving down the road in the wrong direction, he also hit several street signs and almost caused a few accidents. His car eventually came to a rest in the middle of an intersection at Cowan Boulevard and Powhatan Street. By the time his car stopped, there had already been multiple 911 calls reporting David's silver Hyundai as driving erratically and fleeing the scene of an accident. Within minutes of the car coming to a stop at the intersection, Corporal Matt DeShenis and Sergeant Crystal Hill of the Fredericksburg Police Department arrived on the scene. And by the time these officers got there, they were already under the impression that they were dealing with a dangerous, possibly intoxicated driver who was still behind the wheel of this vehicle. They had no idea that David was in the middle of a medical emergency, but that does not excuse what happened next.
Can you see his other hand?
No, I cannot.
Put your hands
Put your
up!
hands up where I can
Put
see
them up
them.
in the air right now! Let me see your other hand right now! You can't see his left hand?
No.
Look down in there, I can't see it.
Hands up, both of them.
Put your hands in the air! Right now! The other one right now!
Both your hands up.
Put your fucking hands in the air right now! Put them in the air!
Put your hands up, both of them, now!
Got him? Watch his left hand, Jurgens. Watch his left hand. He's not making any contact. Get some cover.
Get that car out of here. Get move! Move! Move your car!
Get out of here!
Put your hands up. I need to see your other hand. I need to see your other hand.
Now, the body camera footage that you're looking at right now is from Officer Sean Jurgens, and he was the third officer to arrive on scene and also the catalyst for this interaction going terribly wrong. Up until the point of his arrival, nothing particularly bad had happened. It was obvious that these officers had no idea what they were dealing with, but it's what Officer Jurgens does that really sends this off the rails.
I don't think it made connection.
You see his hand? You see it?
Get the car!
Don't move.
Get out of the car! Get out the car, I'm gonna fucking smoke you! Get out the car! Right now! We ain't playing, get out the car! Get out of the car! Get out! Don't move around!
Got him. I got it. Focus on that.
Go ahead and start rescue.
108 headquarters, all units come back to Dale.
All units back down, authority of 108 on the scene, Cowan and Powhatan requesting rescue.
352 headquarters, deploy the Taser and OC.
Oh my God, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it!
It's on his foot.
353 advising deploy Taser and OC.
Just stop, it's in park.
Go forward, go
His
forward.
foot's on me. What?
Watch out, Jurgens, you good?
Yeah, you're good.
Good?
Stop it. All right.
ahead and move. Go ahead and go.
Alright, we got someone coming to clean the pepper
help
spray
you
off
out,
of you, okay?
Pull over on that road for me.
You okay? We're gonna help you out, alright?
Okay.
What are you on, man?
Were you a witness?
Sick cow.
Move over on that side road for me, please. Thank you.
Alright, can't listen to what you're saying. Sit up. Where's the other one to go in at? I don't think it made connection. Alright, we got someone coming that's gonna clean your eyes out. What's your name, sir?
David.
David what? David Rogerson? What's your date of birth?
Negative. We're good. Did you see the original accident?
One David Washington, black male born in
Yeah, pull over on that road for me.
Alright, I got an ambulance coming to help you.
Hey,
I need
Mr.
to know
Washington.
what's wrong with you.
I don't know. I've been sick for a week.
You've been sick for a week? Alright, because you ran into a couple cars out there, apparently. Sick cow. Don't. Alright, well, we'll get you to a hospital shortly. You need to sit up.
Okay, sir.
You okay, man? We're gonna get you help, bud.
Okay.
You understand why you had to get sprayed? You weren't listening to us.
I didn't help you.
Doesn't have a license, apparently. Have your radio? 202 headquarters ID check customer number. Mr. Washington, where do you live at? Any family we can contact for you? 202 headquarters ID
Where's
check
that
customer
at?
number.
Common?
Yeah.
Okay.
One.
Babe.
Rescue squad's coming. They're gonna take care of that. Okay.
Oh, God.
You know what? I'm trying to hold you up. If you don't hold yourself up, you're gonna fall because I can't sit here and hold you like that. You understand that?
We're gonna get you help. You're gonna be alright, bud.
Trying to lean him against the car.
I'll just stay right here. That's fine. I got him.
Marking on the scene.
Got a 12-pack of beer.
Alright, man. I got you. Just relax. It's done with. We're done. Everything's over with. You're gonna get help.
You been drinking today? What's the beer in the car for? Later?
I just got it, yes.
All right. You on any drugs? Any medication?
Yes, sir.
So thankfully, David survived that interaction without any serious injuries beyond the initial medical emergency that he experienced. But obviously, this whole interaction immediately kicked off an internal investigation. But unlike most internal investigations, they actually didn't investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing. They actually threw Juergens under the bus. And he resigned 10 days after this encounter. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any information about whether the other two officers on the scene had been disciplined or anything like that. And it turns out that former Officer Juergens wasn't very happy about the fact that he got fired. And he actually went and told the local newspaper that he didn't violate any policy or do anything wrong. But the department stuck to its guns and they claimed that he did violate policy. So David actually went on to file a lawsuit against the city of Fredericksburg, along with the police department, all three of the officers involved, and a bunch of other unnamed officers. There were several different claims on his lawsuit, including, of course, excessive force, failure to render medical aid. They did a Monell claim, and also state law claims like assault and battery and things like that. And of course, a motion to dismiss was filed by the other parties, but it largely failed. The judge actually allowed the excessive force claims, the municipal liability claims, and the state law claims to move forward. David's lawsuit was seeking $5 million in damages, but it did eventually settle for an undisclosed amount. But the legal side of this story doesn't really end there. So former officer Jurgens, like I said, he was really pissed about losing his job. And he had the audacity to file a defamation lawsuit against the police department seeking $500,000 in damages. So he claimed that the statements that were made and the press releases by the department allegedly created this false impression that David was an innocent victim of excessive force, and that Jurgens had inappropriately or excessively used force, and apparently that damaged his reputation. Now, I'm guessing that he probably filed this lawsuit because when they settled, I'm assuming that the city had to admit to no wrongdoing. So that made him under the impression that because they admitted no wrongdoing, that they were essentially qualifying or justifying what he did. But the mental gymnastics of police officers will never cease to amaze me. Anyway, a circuit court judge eventually ruled that Jurgens' lawsuit lacked any significant legal standing, and he was ordered to refile within 3 weeks. Unfortunately, I can't find any information about that lawsuit and where it actually ended up. But wouldn't you know it, it turns out that former officer Jurgens is now an officer again at the Spotsylvania Police Department, which is literally 20 minutes from Fredericksburg. So it doesn't seem like his reputation was too damaged, considering that he was able to get a job at the department next door. Now, you may or may not have noticed at this point that I have not said any dates about anything that has happened in this story. And would you be surprised to learn that this happened a decade ago? Now, you might be wondering, why am I covering a case that is 10 years old? But bear with me, I have a point to make here. Take a look at this case out of California about a dad being tased and having his arm broken while he was in the middle of a diabetic emergency. What's the date on this one? Oh, that happened like 3 months ago. And what about this story out of North Carolina where a man was beaten and tased by the police because he was unable to respond to their commands while suffering a diabetic emergency? That happened just over the summer. And to take this a step further, let's take a look at one of the most infamous cases when it comes to police-citizen interactions that has ever made an impact in this space. And that is the 1989 case of Graham versus Connor. In that case, the officers used excessive force on a man who was experiencing a medical emergency. He was a diabetic. I mean, we literally have case law about how to handle situations like this, but the cops have still been fucking this up for literally 40 years or more. Every year, there are news stories about police officers being totally unable to comprehend the idea that a medical emergency might be playing a role in someone's erratic behavior. And I could point to a ton of different cases that essentially have these exact same facts. And I think a part of the problem is their training. I mean, they're trained to view every citizen as a potential criminal at all times, whether it's explicitly or implicitly. So whenever a citizen does anything that's out of the ordinary or would potentially have an innocent explanation, they default to seeking the criminality in the conduct instead of just objectively assessing the situation. And I get it. It's a high-stress job. But if you can't keep your shit together while dealing with a guy who's in his car in the middle of an intersection, then you probably shouldn't be a cop. And it just blows my mind that Jurgens even had the opportunity to work in law enforcement again. But the fact that he probably didn't even have to move to get a new job is utterly ridiculous. And then to have the audacity to claim that the department was slandering you is fucking insane. We have to stop this cultural divide that is being cultivated within the ranks of law enforcement, particularly at the training level. And just the lack of accountability here is astounding. If you happen to be part of the 0.001% of my audience that actually is a member of law enforcement, then I encourage you to encourage your fellow officers to take a moment and assess every situation before defaulting to criminality and beating the shit out of innocent people. Anyway, I need to get off of this soapbox before I get too worked up about this. I really only had that point to make. There's no excuse for members of American police to be so oblivious to the fact that a medical emergency is taking place that they end up using excessive force on someone. Now, there's, of course, caveats when it comes to mental health, and there's a lot of dynamics at play there, but this was as clear-cut as it gets, and it just keeps happening. So, I don't know. Hopefully this video will inspire someone to actually do something about this. I don't know what that is, but something needs to be done. All right. Thank you for listening to my rant. That's all I got for you today. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.